Welcome back to my channel where I do my best to help you implement carnivore as a way of life so that you can live your vocation more joyfully and more easily. My passion is letting Christians and Catholics especially know the power of this diet. I think there is a lot of misunderstanding and a tendency for Christians to over-spiritualize chronic illness or suffering. Chronic illness is not always something that we have to suffer. I experienced tremendous healing from the carnivore diet, which I did not expect. I resolved so many issues that I had had since adolescence. In this video, I'm going to show you what happened when I experimented with what's called a high-fat carnivore diet. I'm going to show you in the video what that looks like. At the end, I will let you know how it went for me. Now, to be honest, I first thought what I was going to challenge myself to was the stick of butter a day challenge, which Dr. Elizabeth Bright recommends for women. I thought, oh, no problem. I'm just going to do a video where I eat a stick of butter a day because I love butter. You guys know I love butter. I thought, yeah, I can do that. Well, I was wrong. And I think what killed me was the tracking. So even though all I had to track was a stick of butter, it was annoying and it just overwhelmed me. It doesn't mean I'm not going to try it one day, but maybe you're thinking, well, how did you know if this helped or not if you only did it a week? This is why. Number one, if you know my story, you know I suffered from PMDD, which is a severe form of PMS. While I have had about 90% of those symptoms resolved with the carnivore diet, I still have this lingering PMS about 5 to 10 days before my period. I'll just kind of shift and I can tell because I get the bloating. It's not nearly as bad. I get more tired and I get like this sluggish digestion. A little bit of symptoms are really kind of bugging me lately because I feel so amazing on carnivore the rest of the month. And I thought I need to see if this high fat approach can help balance my hormones and resolve some of this. When I started this, it was about 8 days before my period is due. I noticed I even had a headache coming on. And those headaches used to be so brutal. This was nothing like that. It was enough to make me say, okay, I can't deal with headaches like that anymore and I'm not going to take Tylenol. So that's how I was feeling when I was going into this. A little emotional. That's just not tolerable once you get to this level of healing with carnivore. The number 2 reason I wanted to try this week because it coincided with me tapering down once again on my Zoloft. So if you know my story, you know I was prescribed Zoloft for my PMDD. And I was even allowed to take 1.5 times my normal dose that week before my period if my symptoms were bad enough. I recently, I think not even 2 weeks ago, down to the 25 milligrams. I've been tapering for like 4 months to prevent any side effects. And that may be why my PMS was kind of bad this month. But I wanted to see if I could notice the high fat mitigating some of those symptoms of withdrawal and tapering down. So check out the video and I'll be right back and I'll show you guys how I am doing. Okay, so it's been about 4 hours and I have not been hungry because of that butter coffee, but I have to eat something before I head out to work. It's not many burger patties, just 2 small burger patties. Cold salted butter is my favorite. I got my McDonald's, and by the way, I just realized they got it wrong. Here it is. It has, my whole car reeks of pickles. Anyway, that's fine. I've got 2 quarter-pound patties and bacon with extra bacon. I went into the grocery store and I bought a stick of butter. Well, I bought a package of butter. I forgot the salt. I usually do the salted butter on my burger patties, but I wanted to see if I liked it better with the unsalted. It's 7:30 in the morning on Sunday and I've got my butter coffee. 1.5 tablespoons butter, 4 shots of espresso. lot for my job. I do Instacart. Oh, I love McDonald's burger patties. That's my go-to. But doing this high fat week, I tried to do butter in the car and just leave butter in the car. It got way too soft. I decided to pick up some really high fat triple cream cheese. It's like a brie, but it's triple cream. For the amount of fat you're getting, it's a good deal. It was like 10 bucks for 7 ounces. And 1 ounce has 13 grams of fat, 3 grams of protein. So this is really gonna help you up your fat. So I'm going to take the penicillin off. Yes, penicillin, that's what it says. It says harmless mold. I'm like, I don't think I want that. It's kind of gross. The inside of this cheese, very rich. It's almost got like a butter texture. You could probably leave this in your car. I grew up going to France all the time. Cheeses are just, they sit out there in the markets. They don't refrigerate anything. Look at the texture. It's almost like butter. Obviously this isn't the most practical thing. I'm determined to find a way to keep something fatty in my car to go on my burgers. Double bacon quarter pounder with just bacon, no salt. Add my salt that I bring. It doesn't bother me to like eat in the car and do all this crazy stuff. There's my salt. It's a very strong cheese. If you want a milder cheese, because it's really strong, so it kind of overpowers the beef, just look for a high fat brie. Most bries are pretty high in fat. Some of them only have like 6 or 7 grams. Don't grab one that has like 9 or 10, and that would be good. Hello, I have a mobile order for Deborah.
Okay, we are working on that right now.
Can I also get a pup cup?
Of course.
Thank you. Watch, he gets excited when we start pulling up. He knows. Oh my word, he's already licking his lips. Thanks so much. You too. You get to wait. It's already Christmas time. Oh my word. Looks like they put too much cream in it. Whatever. They're only supposed to put a light splash, so I don't know why it's so heavy. Pretty cheap drink, less than $4 at Starbucks. They probably use her horrible heavy cream. Cheers. You guys know how I make my Cajun drumsticks? I just did wings instead, and I cooked them for 30 minutes in the oven at 425. Basically just gonna throw pork rind crumbs with Cajun seasoning in a big bowl and then toss in your wings. Ooh, those are crispy. Could those be any crispier? They're so crispy. Here's what happened. By day 2, I was still not feeling much of a change, which is understandable, but I noticed the headache had gone away. And by day 3, the bloating was going away. While my stomach has a little bit, it's nothing like it was. The bloating was very uncomfortable, whereas this is just more like it looks a little bloated, but I don't feel water weight, and I don't feel like my digestion is quite as sluggish. Although I still take magnesium during this week to help that. I also noticed on day 3, I wasn't emotional. That went away. I noticed I was sleeping better. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I hate that. Sleeping better. Now I still have a little fatigue, but I think that's just normal around this time of the month. I just try to get more sleep, although it's not always possible. I will say though that the biggest change has been usually my brain is just kind of sluggish, like brain fog this week. And also I'm usually clumsy, like clockwork. I'll be more clumsy. Neither one of those have been the case this week, and that is huge. I'm 2 days out now from my period. This is with the tapering of the Zoloft. So that's huge to me. I hope this has helped you if you were wondering if you should try this or not. If you are happy with your little bit lower fat, like a more like 70-30 carnivore, and you're having really great results on that, you may not need to change anything and you don't need to try this. You need to do what works for you. But if you're having lingering hormonal issues, if you're having, especially if you're having sugar or carb cravings, I would also try this. It's It's my opinion that fat is the single most important macronutrient that we can have, and especially for satiation. And I think satiation is the main thing you want to aim for to reduce those cravings. I think if people are having those cravings a lot, it could mean that they're not getting enough fat. The only cravings I get are for fat. It's funny. I'm craving the food that I need to eat, that I want to eat, and that my body wants. And that's one of the most amazing things about carnivore. You know how when standard American diet, you might be like, I'm hungry, but I don't know what I want. Or I'm hungry, but I don't want that, I want this. And it's like something bad for you. And there's like this disconnect between the food that's in front of you and like what you really want. That is the craziest thing about carnivore, is it's the opposite. Even though you're eating so many of the same things, I just love that about this way of eating. It's so cool. And you never get bored, like you never get sick of it. I don't know how I don't get sick of burgers. High-fat carnivore is actually super easy once you get used to being very intentional about just adding quality fat to like every bite of protein that you're eating, basically. So it's just slightly different. I'm not going back. I'm not going back after this. That's my thoughts on this. Please like this video if you found value in it. And I'd like to hear in the comments if you are gonna try it, or if you already do high-fat carnivore. I wanna hear what your experience has been with it. Please consider, if you have not subscribed, hitting the subscribe button. And if you want more meal ideas that aren't necessarily high-fat but are still carnivore, then you can click on the link to this video. I also have a Facebook group called Catholic Carnivores that anyone can join. You can find that on Facebook if you want more support, ideas. I'd love to have you over there. I will see you all in the next video, and I hope you have an amazing and blessed week. Bye. Arrivederci. Arrivederci. What does arrivederci mean? I'll have to ask my husband. So I hope this video is huge. Where's my Zoloft? Nope, that's too spicy for you.